Welcome to CryptoWise, a couple of wise guys talking crypto. Hello, CryptoWisers. Welcome back to the channel. My name is Milton, and I will be your captain for this episode. In today's video, I am going to be talking about altcoin season. Is it coming, or has it actually just ended? We have seen some big moves in some of the alts. Is that all, or can we expect more? That's what we're talking about today, CryptoWisers. And I'll be talking about a few alts that Milty's got his eye on right now. Altcoin season. Is it coming, or is it going? So buckle up, kids. This is going to be another exciting episode of CryptoWise. Okay, in crypto, you will hear everyone talk about the crypto cycle. And I'm not talking about the Bitcoin cycles. I'm talking about the natural crypto cycle. It goes Bitcoin, Ethereum, alts. And there's a good reason why we all talk about this, because it's happened over and over again. We've seen this happen over and over again. And so logically, we assume it's going to happen again. Now, of course, nothing is guaranteed. But if we think about it in that term, then we just saw the big, huge Bitcoin breakout. Obviously, okay, we went to new all-time highs. In December, we saw a huge follow through, hit over double the old all-time high. And now we've kind of been chilling in this kind of 30 to 36 range. So Bitcoin, check. And of course, if you have been paying any attention in the last couple of weeks, Ethereum just had its moment. We broke old all-time highs for Ethereum just last week, I think it was. Hard to know. All these days kind of mold into one big long crypto day. But I think it was last week that we broke Ethereum all-time highs. We peaked over 1400 and now we're back down to 13 something, but we are still in the all-time high range. So the assumption is alts are going to be next. But have we already seen the alt run that we're going to see? Because as I talked about in my last video, Polkadot is at all-time highs. And it's not the only one. There are a ton of alts right now who have hit all-time highs. A lot of the big ones too. So like Uni, this is the Uni chart. I don't count this huge wick from when the first airdrop happened of the Uni token. So if you don't count that big wick, we are in all-time high territory. And that goes for a lot of coins, including a lot of the bigger ones, but even some of the smaller ones. Crypto Differ tweeted this the other day. Okay, this is from January 19th, that these coins had reached their new all-time high today. Okay, that was Ethereum. Okay, so I guess it was only a couple of days ago, the all-time high. Feels like a week ago already. Then some other ones. Aave has been on fire. Aave reached its all-time high. Ruin, which we've talked about on this channel. Binance Coin. Okay, so you got some amazing, huge projects hitting all-time high. You've got some smaller coins hitting all-time highs. So are we in altcoin season? Or was this an altcoin season and we should have enjoyed it more because that's the end? Well, in my humble Milty opinion, I don't think we have reached altcoin season yet, but I think we are getting really close. And even though today was a bit of a down day, nothing really major, but because it was the first kind of dip day in a while, people started to kind of panic. People were talking about whether or not that was it. We've reached the peak of altcoin season. Look, these days are going to happen. Even in the bullish of bullish weeks, you're going to have some days, okay? So let's look at Bitcoin's chart from the hourly, because this is what kind of sparked a lot of this kind of FUD and worry and anxiety, was this kind of big dip here. We were kind of encroaching on 38,000 again, and then we dropped all the way down. We saw some touches in the low 33,000s, but now we're back up to 35. But really, this is really just an amazing, beautiful consolidation, in my opinion. I actually love seeing Bitcoin just chilling in this range. It gives me a lot of confidence that there's going to be a strong alt push coming up soon. Now, when that's going to happen, I can't tell you that. If I could tell you exactly, well, I'd be on my own private island somewhere sipping a little tequila. You know what I'm saying? But all I can do is go on probabilities. And in Milty's opinion, it is more probable than not that we're going to see a pretty significant alt push coming up in the next few weeks, maybe month, because of that cycle I was talking about. Bitcoin, Ethereum, alts. If we go back to even just the daily chart with Bitcoin, there is no denying that we had a huge move the last few months in Bitcoin. If you had told any of us back in March when the COVID crash happened and we hit 3,800 again, that Bitcoin in early 2021 would be sitting at 35,000, we would all be jumping for joy. So Bitcoin, it is undeniable, had its move. Then what was amazing to see and predictable because of the probability was that Ethereum hit its all-time high again. And I wanted to have a peek at these two charts back to back just to show you something here, okay? So this is the Ethereum chart, right? We had the old all-time high here from 2018, and now we are back, okay, to the all-time high. It's a beautiful chart. So let's just look at what Bitcoin did. And let's go back to the weekly. Okay, so here's the weekly. So this is the old all-time high, aka the bubble of 2017, and then obviously the crash. And then so when we hit the all-time high again a few weeks ago, look at what Bitcoin did. It made such a strong move through its all-time high, as I said before, and it basically doubled its old all-time high. So I'm really curious to see what ETH is going to do now that it's broken its all-time high. But, you know, from a weekly candle standpoint, it looks amazing. If we zoom into the daily, it's a bit more choppy, but it's still looking super bullish in my opinion. So I kind of expect, now anything could happen, of course, so you have to be prepared for anything happening, but I think probability-wise, we are going to be seeing another strong move from Ethereum to kind of establish what its new level is going to be. In the way that Bitcoin has established an over 30,000 level, I think Ethereum is going to establish itself over 2K. So, and I think that's going to happen relatively soon. So next few weeks, maybe it could happen in the next few days, but I think that the next move for Ethereum is a big move up. And if Ethereum makes that move up, then I have no doubt that the alts are going to follow. So obviously looking at a chart like Polkadot, it's already made some major moves up. Okay, it went from its kind of $5 level and now it's at 17. Do I expect another huge move up for Polkadot? Actually, yeah, I expect another leg up in this next alt season, but I would include this kind of significant move as being part of that, because I think certain alts like the Polkadots of the world and the unis of the world are following ETH kind of faster than some of the other alts will. And so as ETH has moved, these ones have kind of moved really quickly with it, and especially anything to do with DeFi and the other big protocol ones like Polkadot. But there are still a lot of alts that haven't really made their move yet. So I think there's ample opportunity in the market to find some good alts that will probably end up having moves like DOT has had in the last couple of weeks. And I'm going to be talking about a couple of the ones that I'm personally looking at. Now, as you know, if you're a CryptoWiser, I love Polkadot. I'm not actually going to be talking about any Polkadot projects today because my last video, which I posted a couple of days ago, had my top 5 Polkadot altcoins to watch. And I'm definitely going to be covering a lot about Polkadot in the coming weeks and months, but I'm going to try to separate it out. So in today's video, I'm going to concentrate on a couple of alts that I'm looking at that aren't on the Polkadot ecosystem. But one thing that we need to talk about here, which is another huge bullish signal, is how amazing DeFi has been doing and the major DeFi tokens, but especially just total value locked in DeFi. If you guys are not visiting DeFi Pulse daily, if not multiple times a day, then you really should be if you're into DeFi. Okay, it is insane the amount of value that is being locked into DeFi in 2021 since the new year turned. If we look even just at this chart here and we see January, you're looking that there was like just over 15 billion locked in DeFi, and now we're talking about 25 billion. Okay, that is less than a month going up 10 billion, almost double. And if you look at any of the platforms really, okay, so today was a bit of an anomaly. There's some minuses here, but if you just click on them, so Uniswap say, this one is fascinating because you can see here, this is when the Uni token farming was stopped. So let's go to the 1 year here. Okay, so they launched the Uni token here in September and they announced the farming. So a ton of people put liquidity into Uniswap to be able to farm the Uni token, and then it stopped here and then it went down. As you can see, they haven't started farming Uni again, but just organically, they're already back up to the peak liquidity that they had before they stopped the farming. So Uniswap is at peak liquidity, and really you could just go down the list of these. Here's Curve, again, at its peak. Sushi Swap has been on fire, at its peak. Okay, these DeFi platforms are locking in more and more liquidity. That means more people are using them, more people are trusting them, and it's just a very bullish sign for crypto. And there's just more and more of these platforms being added to DeFi Pulse and being created. I mean, this is even just a fraction of them. They have pretty high standards to be able to get onto DeFi Pulse, and they're already, at 63, and I'm sure that it's going to be at 100 soon enough. So anyway, amazing resource. DeFi Pulse, and the people behind it are incredible. What a resource. Okay, as you also know, I love to look at the BTC dominance chart to have a sense of when the alt season might come, or an alt run might come, or a Bitcoin run might come. So as you can see, basically from the new year, we've technically been in an alt run in that Bitcoin dominance has been going down steadily. But most of this is really Ethereum and some of those bigger alts. And we're still at 65% Bitcoin dominance. So if I scroll out here, this is where we were in September. So when we had that kind of early summer hype for DeFi, this is what happened to Bitcoin dominance. It went all the way down and was at the 57 range. Right now it's 65. Now, Bitcoin had a huge move up since then. So the alts are going to have to have an even way bigger surge to get back down to 57. So I'm not actually expecting that right now. I do expect that at some point during this bull run. But for this kind of next alt spurt, which is what I'm expecting, I do think we continue down further here. And I could see us kind of hitting this resistance here down in the low 60s. That's what I'm looking for. Another kind of major move down. And then what happens in this resistant range? If we go down further, then that means alts are on fire. But what I'm expecting is at least one more leg down, which will move the whole altcoins up one leg. And because we've already seen some major moves from the big guys, I'm expecting some of these smaller guys to start heating up huge. So I believe that altcoin season is coming in the next few weeks to a month. And then after this next little alt spurt, I expect Bitcoin to make its next move. So we're at the 35 range. I would love for us to kind of hang out in this range. And then I imagine that that's when, after the alts kind of make their move up, then I think Bitcoin, after consolidating for another few weeks, month, maybe, however long it's going to take, is going to then shoot up as this bull market continues. So let's have a quick look at a couple of alts that I'm keeping an eye on. This is actually not one of them, but I was looking at Aave as a perfect example of some of these DeFi plays that have gone insane. So if we look on DeFi Pulse, Aave here has over 3 billion total locked. Okay, you can see here, let's look at the 30-day. Look at this rise here. And it essentially correlates with their price. Okay, so their price has gone from $85 to $200 in the same span. So obviously the more liquidity, more people using it, then if they have good token utility, which a lot of these DeFi plays do, like Aave's is a great one, then it's going to move their token up. And I don't think we have seen the peak of liquidity for DeFi. I think we're going up from here for sure. So let's look at some of the coins maybe that haven't quite pumped yet. And the first one I have my eye on is Dia. Now, Dia or Dia is one of the Oracle, kind of smaller Oracle coin plays. It's got a market cap just under 60 million. Now, it's had a nice couple of days, but it hasn't come near its all-time highs yet. So as we can see in this chart here, this is the all-time chart. In September of 2020, it was up almost at $5 when there was this huge kind of push for Oracle coins. And then it crashed with the rest of the altcoins, and it really hasn't pumped again yet. It's kind of hovering around the $2 mark. I mean, it's obviously up from its lows, but I think it's got a lot more room to play here. Okay, so some of the other coins I was showing you, they're already at all-time highs. I'm looking for coins like Dia or Dia who are still way far off their all-time highs. The next resistance level for Dia is $2.70. So, okay, that's right now it's sitting under $2. So that even just to get to that next line is a big move. But I think that we're going to see all-time highs for most of these coins in this next kind of bull push, as I'll call it. So I'm looking here to see it try to get back up to that $5 range. And so under $2, it's looking like a pretty play right now. So this is one of the coins I'm looking at. I'm also looking at a DeFi play, which actually hasn't moved nearly as much as any of the other DeFi coins, and that's Kyber network. Okay, for whatever reason, in terms of liquidity in Kyber, it hasn't matched any of the other DeFi platforms. Okay, so that is maybe one of the reasons it doesn't have the same pumpamentals right now or fundamentals. But if you look at the all-time Kyber chart here, it's kind of coming back to life here from kind of this under $1, and now it's sitting at $1.28. But back in September, it was at $2 with huge volume, and it was kind of considered, it was always kind of mentioned with a lot of the other DeFi plays. Now, admittedly, it's fallen behind a bit of the others, but if you look at volume, okay, not liquidity, but just volume of people using Kyber, the volume is up. The volume is at all-time highs, and it has been steadily coming up. So people are using Kyber to do swaps. It's a great platform. I think the people who are building it, the team behind it is top-notch. So I think Kyber, if DeFi continues to pump, I think Kyber really has a good chance here to have a really good run because it hasn't quite had its pump yet. So I'm looking at Kyber network as well. And then another one that you guys know that I really like, because I've talked about it a lot on the channel, is Orion protocol. Now, if you haven't watched my video on Orion, I made a full deep dive into Orion about a month ago. That's this video here. If you haven't checked that out yet, you can do so right now by clicking the link at the top of your screen. Or I'll also add this video here on the end card. So at the end of this video, you can just click on it and watch it if you don't know about Orion yet or haven't seen my video on it. Orion, again, another good example of one of these alts that I really like that isn't anywhere near its all-time high. Okay, back in the summer, during that big kind of pump, it went all the way up to almost $7, and it is still under $3 here. We did see a surge when I put that first video out. We saw a pump. When I made that video, it was about $2, and then we did see a pump up to about $4, but it's come back down. Now, they have released their terminal, but it's kind of a beta version. Only some people have access to it. But Milty is actually one of the people that did get access to it. The team at Orion was nice enough to give me early access, and I've been checking it out. I haven't actually used it yet, but I did create a MetaMask that has a bit of Orion in it, and it has a bit of ETH in it, and so that I can kind of have a look at it. But this is it. This is the Orion protocol terminal, and they've been working on it since launch, as you can see up here. So they launched with only a few pairs, and they've been adding to them since and kind of getting a good amount of pairs on there. And so as they continue to add different pairs, and then over here on this side, you can see, so this is the order book, and they have orders that you can place from, and they have basically KuCoin and Binance are the two exchanges right now that they're getting these orders from. And the idea with Orion is that eventually you'll be able to, basically it will just be a one-stop shop. You can come to this terminal and you'll be able to order from any centralized exchange or any DEX in one place. And here they also have a swap here, so you can come on here. You'll be able to come on here and do swaps. And this is all through your MetaMask or wallet. Now, I haven't actually done any trading on the terminal yet because the gas fees, obviously, as you guys know, Ethereum gas fees have been way high these days. And so for small little transactions, it's just way too expensive. So, and I'm just kind of watching as they grow it, as they develop it. So far, it's pretty great, like what they're coming up with. If they can add all the exchanges and add all the DEXs on here and lower the fees, because eventually this will work on the Elrond network, which you guys know I'm also a big fan of Elrond. And so it should be super fast, super cheap to use this. This will be amazing. So I am a big fan of Orion. And so, yeah, looking at the Orn token, that's still looking pretty good to me right now in this area. It has not pumped yet and has a lot of room to go before reaching its past all-time high. So those are 3 coins that I'm looking at. One last coin that I'll just talk about here just quickly is the xDai stake coin, because layer 2, as I just talked about, gas fees are crazy. Layer 2, we need some layer 2 solutions. I really like xDai. I haven't talked a lot about it on the channel. I did do a video of how to use HoneySwap, and HoneySwap is like a Uniswap that is built on xDai. Other than it not catching on yet, in terms of using it and the fees and stuff, you can watch this video. My fees were under $0.01 for doing a swap on HoneySwap. So it is an amazing thing, but not just HoneySwap, all of xDai as a layer 2 solution. I really like xDai as a layer 2. So again, it's come back up from its lows up to about $20, the $20 range, but its previous highs in the summer was at $42. So I definitely expect in this next little bull push for the alts that some of these coins will go back to these all-time highs. So if you can get in on them now, it might not be a bad choice. But honestly, if I'm right about this next little bull cycle and we're entering an altcoin season, then you almost can't do any wrong. If you hold some alts, they're probably going to go up if my thesis is right. But again, as always, CryptoWise is not financial advice. I repeat, CryptoWise is not financial advice. We're just a couple of guys talking crypto. So you do your own research. You do you. Anyway, guys, that's what Milty is thinking about this market these days. I'm filling my bags with some alts that I like that I haven't seen pump yet, because I am expecting an altcoin season, kind of a mini altcoin season, if you were, within this greater bull run that we are in. That's what I'm thinking today. Let me know what you think. I want to hear from you, CryptoWisers. What do you think of the coins that I mentioned in this video? What did I miss? What are you guys looking at? What are you thinking of filling your bags with right now? Or do you think I'm crazy? Do you think this was the peak of whatever this little alt bull run was, and that the alts are going to go down and Bitcoin's going to start moving again real soon? I always love hearing from my CryptoWisers, so please leave us a comment in the comment section. Anyway, hope you found this video valuable. If you did, give me the old thumbs up, will ya? And if you're new to the channel, why not subscribe? Why not become a CryptoWiser? Because Marvin and I are going to be covering this crazy crypto market for the months, years to come. You do not want to miss out. So subscribe. All the cool kids are doing it. Plus, you help the channel out because it helps people find us. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. As always, my name is Milton. And until next time, over and out.